Hey everyone, my name is Trisha. I chose to do my city study in a place located in the southern Andes in Peru called Ayacucho. Peru is home to an ancient culture which I explored in City Study 1. The Wari culture is presumed to have had a capital city right outside of Ayacucho. The site dates before the Incan Empire. New research has shown that Incan roads were likely based on earlier roads created by the Wari, then expanded as the Incan Empire grew. Even with the initial leap for road infrastructure some thousand years ago by the Wari, Peru has faced infrastructural problems in modern times. The physical location of the country makes it a geographical hotspot for earthquakes and El Niño climate cycles. In the past century, specifically in the past decade, Peru has experienced tremendous economic growth. One of the leading factors in Peru's economic success is the exploitation and export of heavy metals through the mining industry. The Peruvian mining industry is heavily infused by China's federal direct investment for natural resources. Over half of China's FDI for natural resources is centered in Latin America, with a focus on Peru. The massive influx has raised questions for environmental regulation and international labor law concerns. With an increase of gross domestic product during the 21st century, Peru has begun massive infrastructure projects to help the nation economically, ecologically, and socially. Ayacucho, the city proper, often referred to as Huamanga, is involved in several nationwide infrastructure overhaul projects. One of the most controversial regional infrastructure projects is the expansion of the Camisea natural gas pipeline. The Camisea gas fields are located in the southeastern portion of Peru's Amazon basin. They were discovered in 1986 by Royal Dutch Shell while exploring the Amazon for resources. A contract for building the pipeline and transporting from Camisea was not reached until the early 2000s. This delay was caused by severe political unrest and uprising, which I explored in City Study 2. Once the conflict ended, the pipeline became feasible again and was contracted to run from the Camisea fields to Lima. Ayacucho was placed on the pipeline's route, therefore giving the city access to the gas. By 2005, a grid was installed in Ayacucho to support access to the pipeline and bring gas to the residences and businesses. The project was projected to earn export revenues and boost economic growth for the nation. The primary goal was to switch the use of diesel oil to natural gas for transportation, heating, and cooking purposes. Since the initial construction of the project, there has been heavy criticism, especially as new extensions are proposed. The gas fields originate within the Amazon basin, where exploitation of resources affects previously uncontacted indigenous peoples. Along the entirety of the pipeline, ecological harm has occurred, with 6 major spills within the 5 first years of operation. One of these major spills was located directly outside of Ayacucho. Regional infrastructure construction is also impeded by the systemic corruption and subsequent public mistrust of the Peruvian government. I wanted to include this national infrastructure project to give a perspective on how regional design interventions can affect cities on a broad scale. The political conflict in Peru that started in 1980 and continued into the mid-1990s began and was based in Ayacucho. The city saw the worst of the conflict, and during the nearly 15-year span of the conflict, nearly 500,000 Peruvians within Ayacucho became internally displaced refugees fleeing from the region. Today, an estimated 60,000 have returned, and more continue to do so. Due to the nature of the conflict, most of those who fled live in poverty and return to Ayacucho with government assistance. Ayacucho's largest initiative to aid the returning population has been the building of government-funded bioclimatic housing, termed Mi Abrigo, or My Warm Shelter project. The government has expanded the initiative to other areas of the nation and has a goal of delivering 40,000 bioclimatic houses to those in need by 2021. The area that qualify for these houses are those that have similar extenuating circumstances as Ayacucho, with populations that have a high poverty rate, but are also experiencing large shifts in climate with record low lethal frosts. These houses feature double doors and windows, roof insulation, polycarbonate sheet walls, enhanced stoves and chimneys, and wooden flooring. These homes are built in lieu of those that would normally be made of adobe. Traditional adobe homes are no longer suited against the 21st century's new temperature lows in Peru. The design of the bioclimatic homes in Ayacucho features better airtightness within the home and specific orientation of windows. To retain heat in the southern hemisphere, windows face primarily north. The window surface is designed to be equal to 20% of the living area, placing much of the windows on one side or corner of the house as seen in the picture. The Development and Social Inclusion Ministry reports, in the past, people literally froze to death during frost events, but now they stay warm thanks to the Mi Abrigo project. In an attempt to appear more transparent and gain some of the trust that was lost during the social unrest in the past few decades, the Peruvian president, in 2016, continually visited sites where the houses were built. He made appearances in Ayacucho for other infrastructure projects as well, including a highly delayed water plant that still has yet to move forward in 2018. Ayacucho is not ignoring transportation infrastructure. A project that began at the Central Plaza is weatherproofing of roads throughout the city. The city government pledged to continually expand the project outward from the Central Plaza over the foreseeable future. There were several estimates of timelines, ranging from 10 to 50 years. The design of the roads placed a drainage system under the center of the street with tongue-and-groove type brickwork around it. The combination also makes the street much less prone to earthquake damage, which is a concern for Ayacucho, specifically as the city lays on one of Peru's tectonic fault lines that runs through the Andes. The continual growth of population due to returning internally displaced refugees puts another great strain on the Camisea gas project, along with other city and region-wide infrastructure overhaul projects in Ayacucho. The city's population today is now well over capacity to support its most basic structures. Infrastructure design now has to account for those who are returning and any subsequent population growth. Peru as a nation is in a unique position as it is so geographically diverse while having a stable and growing economy.